that should work. You hear me in the back? Excellent. Thank you for inviting me tonight. This is really special because Nancy here, her blog Commuter Lit, was the first place where I ever had something published. A number of short stories, I think 5 or 6 or something like that, about 10 years ago, somewhere around there. Every time I did a Saturday workshop, invariably I'd have a short story, and Nancy almost always said yes. So she was my first yes in publishing, and here I am. This is book 9, 7 thrillers, 2 romantic comedies, with another romantic comedy soon and another thriller next year. So it's been quite busy. One of the things that I love about writing is that I get to explore stuff I know nothing about. So in thrillers, that would include murder, which is always fun to discover different ways, and ask friends and family to act them out with me. My husband lying on the floor and, can I just see if I can stab you this way? That kind of stuff. Or for this particular book, it was phoning a funeral home. And when I Googled, it's set in the Catskills. And I love the research part because I get to talk to people and I'm not exactly shy. So I found a funeral home in the Catskills and called them, and the victim, a gentleman who picked up, I said, hi, my name's Mary McKinnon and I'm a crime author. Honest, this is my website and I have a couple of weird questions. Well, one really, which is, I'd like to talk to you about where I could hide a spare body at a graveyard. And he said, oh, this is really interesting, tell me more. And so our solution is in the book. Spoiler alert, it's in a grave that's already been dug. Dig a little bit deeper, put the soil under the faux grass, put the body in there, cover it back up again. Ta-da! They'll never find them. You never heard that from me. Just say. So this story, talking about writing about things that I know nothing about, is the rise and very violent and bloody demise of the fictional all-female pop rock group called the Bittersweet. When, after a fatal road accident, one of the members decides the band is now worth more dead than alive. So I knew nothing about the music industry, which is where the fun is, going to find out about that. And one of my best friends from, 40 years ago, is a band manager. And he actually has a role in the book, Roger Kent. That's not his name is Roger Gonten from Switzerland, but Roger Kent is the band manager in the book. But I'm going to read you the opening pages of Only One Survives. And now you're all blurry because I can see the book, but not you. That's very disconcerting. So this is 42 days after the accident. Music lovers. I've guzzled 3 vats of coffee in record time. Could be why my mind's racing faster than a cheetah on steroids, but it's more likely from the shock of what went down with the Bittersweet today. After failing to process the news, I came here to write a blog post. It was either this or a bottle of gin. To be honest, I'm not sure either will help make sense of it all. If you've seen my recent posts, listened to my radio show What's on NYC, or visited my social media, you'll know I adore the Bittersweet. And you'll have read about my devastation after what happened to the band last month. Their accident was such an incredible, tragic loss. Since they rocked their way into my world last year, I've played Sweet Spot 1 million times on air, in my car, and while jogging through my neighbourhood. Spotify's profitability probably doubled because of me. I've said this before and it merits repeating. It was time another all-female pop rock group hit the scene. The Bittersweet, aka Vienna Taylor, Madison Pierce, Isabel Riotto, and sisters Gabby and Evelina Sevillano were the perfect blend of powerful women who sang, played instruments, and wrote their own tracks. In short, they were kick-ass. They once told me their sound was influenced by Blondie, the Bangles, Lenny Kravitz, Elastica, Lush, Oasis, Pink, Prince, the Go-Go's, and the more recent band, The Beaches, brackets, not to Toronto. But trust me when I say they were on their way to becoming legends in their own right. I call it one of the Bittersweet show lots. Yeah, I've raved about it multiple times, so I won't wax lyrical, if you'll pardon the pun, but it was easily in the top 10 best concerts I've seen. The quality of their live performance and their showwomanship were off the charts, more like a band that had played together for a decade, not a little over a year. They came into the audience afterwards and walked through the crowd, taking selfies and signing every single autograph request until there were no more. Down to earth and friendly, totally approachable. After watching them interact with each other and having interviewed them on my show, the best way to describe their relationship is united. They gelled, you know? You could tell this band would go the distance. I'd have bet anything they'd be around for decades. Thousands of us were heartbroken when the news broke about their car crash. Few details emerged at first, although we soon learned that after the single vehicle accident on an isolated stretch of road in the Catskills, they'd been stranded overnight at an abandoned cabin during a major snowstorm. Next came a report of fatalities. The fans, myself included, were freaking out, speculating about who had perished. Finally, the cops released pictures of Vienna and confirmed another person who'd been travelling with the Bittersweet had also survived. With the heaviest of hearts, we concluded Isabel, Gabby, Evelina, and Madison had died, until the cops confirmed Madison was, and to this day still is, missing. The police remained tight-lipped about the details, so naturally the whispers started. Words like crime scene, perpetrator, and investigations, as in plural, got thrown around. I figured it was nonsense, clickbait for the gullible. No crime had been committed. I felt certain the accident would be ruled exactly that, an accident, after which we'd mourn the demise of one of the most exciting up-and-coming all-female bands in recent history. Seems I was wrong. In case you missed it this morning, Vienna was approached by the police at a public memorial service for Gabby and Evelina in Queens, taken in for questioning about their deaths. You read it right, and in this instance, I'm not the only one who thinks deaths is synonymous with murders. I was at the church hall, along with hundreds of other gatherers, and we all had dazed and confused expressions on our faces. Couldn't believe it. Thought it was some kind of mistake. Yet, sure enough, Vienna got into the cruiser and they drove off. But wait, there's more. Apparently, Vienna might be a suspect in Madison's disappearance. Can't believe I wrote those words. I mean, WTF. Now, it might all be nothing but rumours and speculation. The cops to show up outside the church in front of all of us and the press and whisk a startled-looking Vienna away. We all know the saying about no smoke without fire. There's got to be substance there for them to risk doing this, but what? In any case, whoever hadn't heard of the Bittersweet before certainly has now. This morning's soundbite of Vienna insisting she's innocent has been viewed thousands of times already. Holy crap, I hope she's telling the truth, because not only do I love the Bittersweet, but candidly, I've been #Team Vienna from the start. She's cool, has this I don't give a shit what you think about me vibe, and her drumming skills are off the charts. It's like she's Meg White, Karen Carpenter, Sheila E. and Cindy Blackman rolled into one. Read my prior best drummers of all time post if you don't know who I'm talking about. Plus, she writes the Bittersweet songs. It might sound absurd, but someone so brilliantly talented can't be guilty of murder, can they? Multiple murders. Could Vienna have hurt her girls? Where the hell is Madison? It's been weeks since the accident and there's no sign of her. Is she hiding? If so, why? When she could exonerate Vienna by showing up. Unless Madison fled because she's the guilty one, or they're in this together. After all, they've been best friends since high school. As I said, my mind's spinning. Tell me your theory about what went on in the Catskills. Could Vienna be a killer? What about Madison? Got another theory? Leave a comment, and if you hear anything, message me. We need to get to the bottom of the bittersweet tragedy. Stay tuned. Melody at Musical Melody J. Comments 1246. I won't read them all. They're not all in there. I'm just joking. While the whole book's just comment. Showing most recent. I'll just read a couple. Susie _ Jessica _ hugs. Hashtag Team Vienna. No chance. She's 100% guilty. Bellybean 56. Agree. Whatever kicked off the bittersweet shitstorm, I'll bet it brewed for years, way before the cabin, which was creepy AF, by the way. What was that? The Shining Part 2? CG _ Sunshine 21. I want the entire story, right from the beginning when Madison and Vienna met, warts and all, everything. Susie _ Jessica _ hugs. Hell yeah, someone get on it already.